Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing another Swiss Oath of the Gatewatch Battle for Zendikar draft. Okay, we opened Crush of Tentacles. I've played it before. It's good. It's a mythic. If you can surge it, you get an 8/8 and bounce the board. Pretty strong. Essence Depleter, also strong. And those are the only two picks I think worthy of first picking. I guess we probably take the mythic. I love Essence Depleter, but it kind of motivates you to want to take colorless mana sources, whereas Crush of Tentacles basically just wants you to play a lower mana curve so you can surge this out. And you always want to play a lower mana curve anyway, so it's not like it works against you. I guess playing a surge card can kind of limit your archetype options a little bit sometimes, but yeah, I guess we'll take the Crush. Okay, follow-up pick. Well, we could take another Surge card because red-blue Surge is where it's at. Devour in Flames is probably better than Boulder Salvo most of the time. It also can hit Planeswalkers. Not having to surge out Boulder Salvo is probably better, even though this bounces a land. There's no good blue card in here. I don't really want to take Holdout Settlement. I think we're going to take the Devour in Flames. Okay, Boulder Salvo. There's Blinding Drone. Drone's actually a pretty decent Surge enabler. It's only 2 mana. Salvo deals with more things. Bushwhacker's okay. But if we're trying to get some Crush of Tentacles value, we probably want to go a bit more late game. I think we're just going to take the Salvo. It's good removal. We'll put it in the 4 mana slot. That's where you hope to play it. Embodiment is very strong. I like it more than a second Boulder Salvo. I think this card, I've taken over some games with Embodiment before. Another Blinding Drone too? Jeez. I'm still going to take Embodiment. We're passing Blinding Drones, which kind of sucks in terms of being able to play Crush of Tentacles, but Embodiment of Fury is just a really powerful card. It actually synergizes well with Devour in Flames too. You get the land back, so you're going to be able to landfall again. Vow Redeemer is okay. Let's just take the Embodiment. Okay, Hedron Crawler is actually a good Surge enabler. And lets you ramp into a turn 3 Embodiment, which is also strong. Otherwise, Containment Membrane, but I think we're actually going to take the Crawler. I like the ramp here. So now we can take a Containment Membrane. There's comparative analysis, that tends to go late. Cinder Hellion's okay, but replaceable. I guess we'll take the Membrane. So you hope to play Membrane for like 3 mana. Well, I guess you can always play it for 3 mana, but I mean surge it. You're going to end up surging it and paying 1 mana, hopefully. Okay, Zada's Commando, actually a decent Surge enabler, but not really synergistic with this deck, but it does have First Strike. Otherwise, Maw of Kozilek, which blocks okay, but yeah, it attacks okay too if colorless matters. We have Hedron Crawler. Commando is probably just something we want because it's cheap. And we don't really need a waste. Like being able to pay 7 mana, go Commando Crush is pretty good. Okay, so there's a Flame Seeker, which is okay. We have a Entangler, a Late Shrieker, which maybe red-black could be a thing, but still, Flank Tendrils is actually pretty good too. I think we either take Flame Seeker. Flame Seeker's got to be better than Entangler, I think. Okay. Flame Seeker's fine. 3/2 is actually a decent body in this format. There's Cultivator Drone. I think the problem is we have like no colorless. So Cultivator Drone just doesn't seem that good. Probably don't need the Pathfinder. I guess we'll take the Crumbling Vestige in case colorless ends up mattering. Or if we want to splash. It's kind of interesting that Crumbling Vestige lets you splash. I guess we can take a Scion Summoner. Maybe we end up in green. Aggressor doesn't seem very good. I guess we'll take the Analysis. Might be able to surge it out. You end up paying 4 mana for it most of the time anyway. Honestly, if you want to surge it, you probably end up paying 5 mana, I guess. So I guess we can put it in the 4 slot, because probably going to end up hard casting it if we do play it. Okay, Flame Seeker number 2. Guess we'll take the Pulse. So, seeing late green cards could mean that green's open. It feels like green's open pretty often. I mean, Summoner is actually just a good card in a couple archetypes, like the black-green, and even red-green, it's probably okay too. Actually, better in green-white, I guess, for support. Alright, we'll take the Spark Mage's Gambit. Probably not main decking it, but can leave it in there until we replace it. Pulse of Morass is fine. Actually turned out to be better than it looked. Okay, so Reality Hemorrhage kind of looks like the pick here. I like it more than Sweep Away. It's a fine Surge Enabler too. Sweep Away is actually not a good Surge Enabler since you want to cast it when you get attacked. But I like Reality Hemorrhage, so it seems like the correct pick here. Alright, Prophet of Distortion's good. We do have a colorless source of mana as well as the Hedron Crawler. It also is a good Surge Enabler as being 1 blue. In red, we have Cinder Hellion, which, like I said, is usually replaceable. Seer's Lantern's okay. I think we just take the Prophet here. It's tough to deny that. I think Thought Harvester would be okay too, but Prophet seeming a lot better with our Boulder Salvo, Crush of Tentacles, even Comparative Analysis plan. Roiling Waters is very good. Probably more exciting than the Negator. Yeah, it's a strong card. Not a good Surge Enabler, but just a powerful card. And not giving up much for it. I mean, we wheeled Flame Seekers last time. Probably can wheel it again. This is already looking like an 18-land deck with Prophet, Comparative Analysis, double Flame Seeker. And now with Roiling Waters, too. Okay, Dwar Isle Avenger. Probably more exciting than the Zada's Commando. Yeah. Zada's Commando is fine, too. But I think we're just going to put this in the 4 slot. This is about where we want to play it. Boulder Salvo. Going to take it over the Sweep Away. And the Sears. Yeah, we're just taking removal here all day. Ooh, Deep Fathom Skulker? Yeah, that's a gift. Deep Fathom Skulker is super strong. Definitely better than Cyclone Sire, even though Cyclone Sire is very good too. Alright, well, at this point, I am ready to commit. Well, there's Storm Chaser Mage. There's Blinding Drone, which is probably just the pick. We only have Hedron Crawler and Crumbling Vestige, but we might wheel a Waste or two. And I like Blinding Drone more than Freerunner, I think. We want to lower the curve a little bit, even though you can surge this out. I think just getting a 2-drop here. I actually think Storm Chaser Mage is okay too. God, we're actually pretty creature light, aren't we? I still want the Blinding Drone. That's a really late Reality Hemorrhage. We're going to take it over the Negator, even though we do need some creatures. Yeah, quite a few people don't like Reality Hemorrhage, or just, I think, maybe they think it's okay, but they value it lower than I do. I actually think Hemorrhage is a very good card. There's a lot of targets that it hits, and it just gives you early protection that I think is pretty necessary. Cultivator Drone is just really not that great for us, unfortunately, but I mean, we take it. It works with Prophet, it works with Blinding Drone, it ramps to Skulker. We need more creatures. There's nothing in here we're giving up. I guess the Sweep Away, but I'd rather have the Drone, I think. Okay, get a Sweep Away anyway. We're going to take it over the Void Shatter. So, at this point, we're probably not running Comparative Analysis, I guess. Entangler, not going to run Bonesaw. Entangler actually looks okay in here. Probably don't want to end up playing it, but okay. Expedite helps us surge, boulder salvos, membrane, crush of tentacle. I guess we'll take Expedite. I can't imagine we need a crab. Oh, we can get rid of the Gambit, I guess. Alright, I guess we can take another Surge Enabler. 11 creatures is pretty light, though. Trying to think what our weakest spells are. I might end up cutting the Sweep Away, because like I said, it's not a good... It's actually, it's a good card. This doesn't strike me as the deck for it. And we need to make sure our creature count is high enough. How many Surge cards do we have total? 2, 3, 4. We only have 4. Which isn't a ton. Probably want the Touch of the Void here. Even though we need creatures, I think we should be able to find some more. And Touch of the Void's just really good. Maybe we can't be on the Expedite Slip Through Space plan. We already have enough Surge Enablers, probably. Spawning Bed turns on Prophet of Distortion and Blinding Drone. But Touch of the Void is just an actual good spell. Alright, hopefully wheel, I think likely wheel the Ondu Champion. Be nice to wheel GOP, Slide Runner, Drone. Okay, there's a Slide Runner, there's a Sentinel. We don't look very beat down. We don't have any colorless 7-mana spells. Sentinel seems okay in here. It's a Surge Enabler as well. Actually, we gotta just take the Infiltrator, I think. It's evasive, blocks well. The fact that it's unblockable is really relevant. Works well with Skulker. Alright, let's cut the Sweep Away, and I think we are actually getting off these just because we're so creature light that we need to make sure we've got enough in here, I think. Okay, I mean, Merc Strider I guess works with Infiltrator, but not really what I'm looking for. Neither is Fire Mantle Mage so much. Predator's actually okay most of the time. I guess we could use some more creatures. I mean, it typically beats down well. Angelic Captain. I mean, you could splash that off a Vestige, I guess. Anticipate's actually a great Surge Enabler. It is. It's a good Surge Enabler. We might want the Channeler, though. We need more creatures. And Channeler's always good. And it works with Prophet of Distortion really well. Doesn't really work that well with Blinding Drone, but it does work in a pinch with Blinding Drone. And you can ramp into it with Cultivator and Hedron Crawler. Yeah, we're going to take the Channeler. I mean, 15 creatures is usually the minimum amount you want. It's tough to count Crush of Tentacles as a creature, too. Yeah, taking Channeler. I think we're in 18 land decks still, though. So Coral Helm Guide got better. We don't have a ton of guys we want to make unblockable. And it's kind of repetitive with Deep Fathom Skulker, too. It's an ally, so it works with, like, Commando and Flame Seekers. It also keeps the curve down a little bit. Probably don't need an Ondu Champion. Probably don't need a Vestige, although ramping into it's not bad. Horribly I mean, we already have enough non-creature spells, so... We can also run 14 creatures, I guess. I guess we'll take the guide. I don't think we're playing it, though. Well, get another one. Guess I can take the Vestige now. I don't think we're playing it, though. Alright, Boiling Earth's actually a good sideboard card, but Valakut Invoker is a pretty legitimate mana sink. And since we have enough removal, we probably don't need the Boiling Earth. I'm going to take the Invoker. I'm going to try and fit it in here too if I can. Second Channeler, yeah, I mean, that's definitely good. Incubator is a good wheel. So, basically, yeah, and the Kozilek Sentinel. This deck actually came together pretty nicely. I think we're going to be able to design it to have a good late game plan. We're not going to be a beatdown deck. We're going to be more of a value deck, which means we want to cut beatdown cards. Like Entangler can go, Guide can go. I think Predator can actually go. Vestige can go. I'd rather do the Drone. Adverse. I'm pretty adverse to playing it in this deck. Swarm Surge can be annoying. Call to Scions can be annoying too. I guess we'll take the Swarm Surge. Yeah, we want... we definitely want 18 lands in here. Royal Mage's Trick is an okay sideboard card. Got the Undo Champion, sure. Okay. So, we're trying to be like mid-range blue-red. Which means we do have to figure out some cuts. This is actually more challenging than one might think. We could ditch a... We can actually ditch a Zada's Commando, I think. And a Flameseeker, I guess, at that point. If we ditch... We actually don't have much of an ally theme at all. So we could just ditch the Commando and the Flameseekers. That brings us to 13 creatures, though, which is a bit low. But with 3 allies, these guys really aren't that great in the deck. See, like, Hemorrhage Boulder Salvo is actually decent synergy. 4 mana, you can kill a 2 toughness guy to kill a 4 toughness guy. It's okay. Skulker looks a bit worse in here just because we're going to be a bit, creature light, but our card draw is Roiling Water pretty much only. Channeler actually works pretty well with Crush of Tentacles. You get to, like, tap out, ramp everything, play your spell, play Crush, and then maybe even have leftover mana to replay something else. Possibly. Channeler also works well with the Invoker. I could cut the Membrane. Sideboard into it. I'd rather have, like, damage spells, I think. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to cut any of my removal, to be honest. Crush kind of counts as a creature, but not really. What happens if we cut Flameseekers and then run Zada's Commando as a 2-mana, 2-power first strike? It's okay. I probably don't want to go less than 14 creatures. And Zada's Commando can hold, even if, like, obviously if you can't use the cohort, Zada's Commando can still definitely be useful as an attacker or a blocker early. Kind of tempted to cut the Containment Membrane. Yeah, I think 14 creatures is an okay number. Like 15 is ideal, 14 is going to work, and 14 and a half if you include Crush of Tentacles, that's enough. And I think our deck actually has enough finishers too. Like Channelers can get the job done. Crush is obviously a big finisher. Skulker is a good finisher too. We have 3 cards that get us colorless mana. All right, let's cut. We'll sideboard into Membrane. I think between double Reality Hemorrhage, Touch of the Void, Devour, double Salvo, Roiling Waters, probably have enough ways to remove threats. Yeah, this looks like a good deck to me. So, guess we want to be as even as possible. But we'll err towards probably blue, which they say too. Yeah, I agree. We actually need double blue, whereas we only need one red. Okay. Yeah, this deck is pretty good, actually, I think. It's not busted, but we have good finisher. We have good removal. We've got enough surge enablers. We have some ramp. I could rate this deck fairly high. I think it's lacking in synergy. We have some synergy, but it's a bit lacking in the synergy department. So I probably give it about a. I think it's a little bit higher than a 7. I'll probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think 7.5 out of 10 is pretty good. It probably doesn't break through to 8 territory. We do have some, big impact. We have high impact cards. We have enough early game to hold them off. We have removal. We have card draw. But just a bit of a lack of some synergy in here. Like, we have powerful cards that don't synergize necessarily well with other cards. Like, Embodiment is one of the more powerful cards you can have in like an aggressive beatdown deck, but he probably falls a little bit short in a deck like this because he doesn't block terribly well. And, it's weird to see cards like Embodiment in the same deck as like Benthic Infiltrator and Kozilek Sentinel, since these cards motivate you to want to get to the late game. But on the other end, these guys buy us time to get to like Crush or get to like Deep Fathom Skulker. So we've got some weird little mix of cards here, but I think this actually can come together and do some work for us well. So, and we have card draw in Prophet of Distortion and Roiling Water. And we have mana sink like Valakut Invoker. So we have mana sinks in case we get flooded, and we have some card draw to help mitigate the flood as well. But overall, 7.5 out of 10. I think it's pretty good. We'll see you in round 1.